session for beginning our batch 3 for RBI Grade B crash course for phase 1 as well as phase 2. So yes, this would be our first class of orientation in which we are expecting that definitely you will get an idea how to prepare for RBI Grade B exam, what is this particular complete crash course all about, and how you can togetherly prepare. If you are part of this particular crash course, how easy it would be for you to cover the overall syllabus, practice that syllabus through our top quality tests, mock tests, topic wise test and sectional test, and not just cover the syllabus but rather clear the exam within this stipulated time. There are many students who are asking same doubts that, sir, is it can I clear this exam within this short period of 2 to 3 months? There are various students who are also saying that, sir, can I actually clear this exam within this really less amount of time I am getting? So much of syllabus is there. I am weak in finance. Some students are saying I am weak in quant. Considering all of these, let's see that can we actually prepare for this particular RBI Grade B exam of the year of 2024 through this particular course. Okay, so we will begin our discussion today by understanding some of the important facets of the overall exam and the stages of the exam, and then I will also take you through the schedule of the exam. So now I'll be also taking you through the schedule of the exam also. Now first let us discuss and come to the point to understand how much is the competition in this particular exam. So if you look at it, for overall RBI Grade B exam, you could see here this was the RTA which I filed, and here you will get an idea. Overall applicants are 1.5 to 1.6 lakhs. 1 lakh students give phase 1. Out of that, 3,000 students clear phase 1 and go to phase 2. Out of these phase 2 students, only 700 get a chance to give interview, and out of those 700, almost 200 students become RBI Grade B officer. Considering all of these, now you should know very clearly that our competition is not actually with this 1,50,000 students. Your competition will start as if you compete actual students who study, they will be clearing phase 1 exam at least. You also know that phase 1 exam for RBI Grade B is called as elimination exam. Therefore, if you see from 1 lakh only 3,000 students, it gives you only 3% selection ratio, which is nothing but only 97, only 3% get selected, 97% students are eliminated straight away. Yes, Harshit, good evening. So overall, when you understand it, our competition, I'll make it very clear. Many students feel that as 1,50,000 students are applying in this particular RBI Grade B exam, my competition is 1 lakh students. No, it is not. Actually, your competition, if you see, is with this 3,000 students, but these 3,000 students are the real competition. These are the people who sweat every night, who always give hours and dedicated study time every day, every hour, every month and throughout the year. As these students, as we are looking at that from 1 lakh, these 3,000 students are clearing the elimination stage itself, phase 1. So you have to consider the competition from these 3,000 to 700 to 200 students for your final selection. So remember this very, very carefully. What I'm trying to tell you is that जब आप prepare कर रहे हो, when you're preparing, you should have an idea that I have to be in this 3,000 students club. These are the students who are already preparing every day, and from overall integrated preparation point of view, that means they are preparing for phase 1 also, phase 2 also at the same time. Their intention here is not just to clear phase 1, phase 2. Their intention is very clear. They know the cutthroat competition which is there. They want to clear overall RBI Grade B exam. Is this orientation session for 2025 personal mentorship program? See, the complete course and crash course is like the access of these batches is for both 2024 and 2025 students also. The orientation today what we are talking about is that generic information which you need to have before your preparation for RBI Grade B exam. I'm not talking about year, I'm not talking about dynamic things, I'm talking about the reality. Look at it, 5 years I have given you the data and now you know that what is your competition. Now let's go through the overall exam pattern and understand certain things which you didn't knew about. And that first thing I'll be saying is your phase 1 exam. So for all the students who are thinking about phase 1 exam, I already told you it's an elimination stage. It's the first stage in which students fear of the most, and always remember that in phase 1 exam, sectional cutoff is there, but along with the sectional cutoff, overall cutoff is also there. So look at it very carefully. Reasoning, general awareness, English language and quantitative aptitude. Respective questions have been given. So here you will understand that for reasoning, almost 60 questions are there for 60 marks and duration is 45 minutes. General awareness, 80 questions are there, 80 marks, 25 minutes. English language, 30 questions, 30 marks, 25 minutes, and quantitative aptitude also 30 questions, 30 marks, 25 minutes. If you observe carefully, then reasoning and quantitative aptitude, these two sections are very difficult. Here the cutoffs also, if you compare, the cutoffs are less, but these two sections are so difficult that your aim and your target should be only clearing the cutoff in reasoning and quant. The overall, to achieve your overall score or to score more, there are two other sections in which you have to think about scoring well, and those sections are, first is general awareness and second is English language. When you try to score more in general awareness and English language and you only keep a target that I'll be just clearing the sectional cutoff in reasoning and quantitative aptitude, this is the right approach to follow in phase 1. I will be also showing you the overall cutoff for your understanding. For example, reasoning cutoff out of 60 was almost 9 marks. Quantitative cutoff was almost last year 4.5. English language cutoff, when you look at it, it was also close to 4.5, and general awareness cutoff was almost 12 to 13 marks. So when you look at this particular cutoffs, you will get an idea, and the overall cutoff was close to 54 marks. So when you understand this, now you should think about that how can I clear my sectional cutoffs and how even I can clear my overall cutoff. For example, a student can clear reasoning and quantitative aptitude sectional cutoffs, but what if he gets less marks in general awareness? What if he gets less marks in English language? Maybe you will clear all the sectional cutoff, but you will not clear overall cutoff. Almost 60 to 70% of the students, they either fail in one sectional cutoff to clear that one sectional cutoff, either in reasoning, either in quant, or sometimes even in general awareness, or maybe they fail to clear overall cutoff. That means they clear sectional cutoffs, but they fail to clear overall cutoff. So the approach is very clear. Reasoning and quantitative aptitude, just you have to clear them marginally. You have to just clear the sectional cutoff. And rest of the two subjects, general awareness and English language, in GA you have to target 40 plus marks, and in English language you have to target 25 plus marks. Okay, when you try to achieve this, automatically you will clear overall cutoff. I hope you understand this. Now here's a simple flow chart which has been given, which will confirm your selection in phase 1. आपका अगर confirm selection चाहते हो, so this is one thing. Total 200 questions are there. These are the attempted questions and these are non-attempted questions. Suppose for example you attempted X, then 200 minus X will be the questions which you have not attempted. Whatever X questions you have attempted, some of the questions would be correct and some of the questions would be wrong, incorrect. So always remember this. In RBI Grade B phase 1 exam, your accuracy matters a lot. So whatever correct questions are there, in those questions you should be dependent on your optimal approach. Optimal approach in the sense you should be giving answers to all the questions in which automatically there is a high chance, high probability that your answers would be correct. So wherever you are pretty sure about, you definitely go through it. Yes, this is for 2024 also and 2025 also. Here we are trying to just give you an overview about the exam, because the exam fundamentals will not change either for the year of 2024 or 2025. You don't need to worry about it. So now the first you follow the optimal approach in which you try to solve those questions in which you have high accuracy. After that, once you commit or once you clear all the high optimal questions with high accuracy, the remaining question in which you don't have that much accuracy, you can use guesswork also, but at the same time you should only take risks in which there is higher probability that you will eliminate some of the options which are definitely not the answer, so that your probability of those particular total questions which are not optimal, they give you at the end positive score. Incorrect questions will include either the reason of lack of knowledge, lack of practice, lack of attention to detail, in which we always do some minor mistakes. That is what you can definitely see in phase 1. Yes, negative marking is there, it is 1/4. Okay. So now once you understand this, whatever questions you have not attempted, if you have not attempted, there should be certain reasons for it. First is you didn't have time. As RBI Grade B phase 1, when you are looking at, each section has a time. One section would be there first reasoning, then general awareness, then English, then quant. Each section has a sectional timing. After finishing one section, you can move to the next section. So therefore, your timing matters a lot. Time management is very, very key. Next is you saw, but you didn't have the knowledge, and neither you had ability to solve that or make that question right. And third is you saw the question, you also had little bit idea that how to solve that question, or maybe you remembered certain things, but you couldn't recall it properly as your practice and revision was little bit less. So these are certain things which could be reason why certain questions you attempted were correct, why certain questions you attempted which were wrong, and why certain questions which you couldn't attempt. Now these are the cutoffs of RBI Grade B phase 1. If you want to take the screenshot, you can take it, but as I told you, these are last year's cutoff. Every section these cutoffs are there. You have to clear those sectional cutoffs, and you also have to clear overall cutoffs also. So now we will be looking at each subject, how we are going to clear the cutoff. Is it clear or not? Or what is the strategy for each subject? Is it clear? So first we will start with reasoning. So when you are starting with reasoning, try to understand it very clearly. RBI Grade B exam phase 1 has reasoning and quant of higher difficulty. When you look at these subjects, here overall the questions from different topics which are asked, these are complicated, has multiple variables, and has so much of information and are lengthy, so that your time is wasted. Always remember that there should be a proper practice, and on this practice there should be a proper strategy which is based on your strength and weakness. For example, I could be good in time, speed, distance. Maybe you are good in averages. I am good in maybe data interpretation, that is DI. Maybe you are good in puzzles. So everything in quant and reasoning would be dependent on how much comfortable we are in certain topics and certain questions which come from the topic. Always remember, you cannot waste your time, and neither you can waste your attempt. Suppose you choose a question wrong and you try to solve it, and if you don't end up getting the answer, then definitely that year you will not clear the sectional cutoff of quant, and you will be eliminated from phase 1. So that is why it is very, very essential to practice, to solve the questions based on time, then to increase the practice of certain topics and understand which are your strengths and weaknesses, and then adjust your overall strategy. So when you look at reasoning, always remember, whenever you are practicing, practice according to the time. Keep a stopwatch and always try to solve particular questions before the timing, or improve your timing, because just solving the question is not enough. Solving them fast also matters. Okay. Yes, for every subject I am going to tell, we are starting with reasoning. We will move to quant, we will move to GA, we will move to then English, we will move to ESI, finance management, everything. I will give a clear strategy to all of you. This is a really important session for all. Okay. So here one more thing important is there, that in quant and reasoning, always remember, कौन सा क्वेश्चन आपने सिलेक्ट किया है उससे मैटर करता है कि कौन सा क्वेश्चन आपने छोड़ा है. It means that the question which you selected more than that, it matters that which question you are not attempting or you are not thinking about. So it is not about question which you have selected to solve. It is about which question you have eliminated or which you have not chosen. Why? It's because you have to do practice in such a way that you are having an comfort in certain topics and you are confident enough that I am picking this question, I'll solve this question and I will 100% find the answer to this particular question. Otherwise, many students, what they do is that they pick the questions just by looking at the surface level or superficial, and then they end up solving them either wrong or maybe they don't get answers only. And once this happens, you all know that there is a stopwatch or timing which is ticking. And if that section timing finishes and if you end up with having no answers, then definitely you will not clear that particular sectional cutoff. So once you have to understand that what should our reasoning strategy should be. Now, reasoning targets and overall strategy will not be directly brought towards the cutoff scores, because cutoff is the bare minimum score which we have to bring. Rather than keeping a target of cutoff, we have to keep it in such a way that you will easily clear reasoning or easily clear any of the sections in the RBI Grade B phase 1 exam. So here try to understand, when you are looking at reasoning strategy, the total timing which you get is 45 minutes in total. The total questions which you are getting are 60 questions. Now, when you look at these number of questions, our target score should be 20 to 25 questions, which gives us 20 to 25 marks. Now, how to target these 20 to 25 questions? And that also not with very high accuracy and neither with very low accuracy. We need an above average or above or moderate accuracy, which is more than 80%, that is 80% to 90% accuracy. So overall, when you are attempting the question, always remember, we know what was the cutoff last year. The cutoff was almost 9 marks. So when you have this strategy with you, if the cutoff was 9 marks, 100% you should attempt at least 15 questions. So that is why here the target score or the target questions what I have given, it's 20 to 25, so that at least 15 to 20 questions would be correct out of these 20 to 25 questions. Am I clear or not? Yes, you will get PDF also, don't worry. You will get it for all the paid students, you will get it, don't worry. So now exam and mock strategy. So try to understand. As I told you, in quant, reasoning, English, GA, here if you are doing practice but not allocating time, definitely then you are not doing practice in proper way. If you are doing practice of quant, you should allocate the time. You should remember that for 60 questions, 45 minutes are there, and in that way, for almost every question which you are going to solve, try to look at it how much time in total you are getting. So always remember, there are certain simple topics and some certain complex topic in quant. When you look in reasoning, okay? In reasoning, there are certain simple topics and certain complex topics. So the simple topics in reasoning are, first is alphanumeric series, coding, decoding, syllogism, inequality, blood relations, direction sense, ranking and order, and machine output. Understand, these 8 topics are very simple, in single line, there is no complication, and you can very easily solve them. If you find this question in your question paper or during your mock test or practice questions, definitely these are the questions which you should be solving in your first phase of time, or maybe initial 25 minutes, whatever you will be getting in your exam, or maybe in your mock test, or maybe during your practice, you should be solving these first simple questions. So first, when you finish simple questions, now you are left with complicated questions of puzzle, critical reasoning, and sitting arrangement. These complex questions are multiple statement based question, are of multiple variables, and not only that, these are intermixed with multiple topics. So therefore, here it would be very difficult for you. At the same time, here you may also lose out your time. For example, for puzzles, there would be one question, and for that one question, one paragraph based question, maybe 5 to 6 questions are there, or 4 questions are there. Similarly, for sitting arrangement, one total paragraph is given and maybe 3 to 4 questions are there. So this requires a lot of time. And what I recommend is that first you should go for simple questions and then you can move to the complex questions. What happens with the student is that although the students do practice of puzzles, critical reasoning, then sitting arrangement, directly if you try to jump on the complex topics, there is very high chance that in examination hall you can commit small mistakes. And here when you are jumping to the complicated sums and complex sums like puzzles and sitting arrangement, here even if you do a small mistake, all the 4 questions which are dependent on this topic, all the answers will be wrong, and therefore it would be very difficult then to clear the cutoff. That is why first you have to go for simple questions. Once you confidently get answers to all of these simple questions or whatever topics are, then you can move to the complex topics. Okay? PDF only paid students would be getting. So here when you look at this particular strategy, now let us try to look at what is overall strategy for reasoning which we learned. So reasoning में क्या strategy रहेगी? Very simple. Practice, practice, practice. Second, when you are practicing, practice by allocating time. Find out the strengths. In the sense, are you good at decoding? Are you good at syllogism, inequalities, blood relation, all the types of blood relation? Are you good at puzzles? Multiple variable puzzles are you able to solve? All this you have to definitely know. Second topic is general awareness. So when you look at GA, this is an exhaustive as well as one of the most important roadblock when it comes to phase 1. 80 questions, 80 marks are there for GA. But here your revision matters a lot. Try to understand here you have to give special focus on government schemes, PIB news and finance current affairs as well as economic current affairs. PIB, RBI reports, budget, survey, very important. Not only that, you have to keep yourself updated with the important reports and whatever is going on throughout the macroeconomic perspective in the country as well as world. Okay? Once you get an idea of GA, here I already told you total number of marks are 80. Previous year cutoff is almost 12 marks. Here, as I told you that GA and English are high scoring sections. Therefore, our target score for GA 100% should be more than 30 to 35 marks. So here you will be attempting almost 40 to 50 questions from which you should try to get 30 to 35 questions correct. Okay? So when you look at it, overall, you are getting 25 minutes only. In GA, you have to understand that your reading speed should be fast because 80 questions are there. You cannot waste your time on each and every question. Your revision should be such a strong. Last 6 month current affairs should be on your tip of the tongue. It should be so good, it should be so properly revised that once you read a question, you should be quickly able to realize that which of the statement is wrong and which of the statement is correct. Expect in GA as well as in government scheme and PIB related questions that complex statements and multiple statement based questions would be asked. Okay? So when such questions come in front of you, it is very important that whatever you have gone through for last 6 months GA, general awareness current affairs, you should be able to recall it very quickly. Recalling time here should be very quick so that you are able to cover all the 80 questions. And from all the 80 questions, a year prior you don't need to worry about. You can start preparing current affairs from last 8 months for all the students who are targeting 2025. For all the students who are targeting 2024, you can do it for last 6 months. Always remember, last 6 to 8 months current affairs is more than enough. You should not be doing more than that. Now, always remember that when first 10 minutes are there, when you are allocating the time for practice or maybe in your final exam, high accuracy and confirm questions only you should be able to solve first. You should not waste your time initially to eliminate or to spend on those questions of which you are not sure about or you don't know answers. Always there are certain questions in those 80 questions where we are very confident about. We look at the question and we know that this is the answer. So solve first 10 minutes all the questions which you are confident. In second 10 minutes or next 10 minutes, second round, so this is your first round. In your second round, you should be concentrating on eliminating most of the options and trying to get good accuracy, not confirmed and brilliant accuracy, but here overall good accuracy. If your total number of eliminated questions are 10, so out of those 10 questions where you have used elimination techniques, at least 7 to 8 questions should be correct. So for that, here you should take only calculated risks, not risk out of the blue, but only calculated risk. Calculated risk in the sense, try to eliminate as much as options which are available to you. And last is taking up the call based on the total attempts. I told you our target score should be more than 30 to 35 marks. If you have not attempted 30 to 35 marks, based on your total attempts, you can take up the call and you can try to again use your elimination technique, guesswork, and in last 5 minutes you can try to bring your overall attempt to 30 to 35 marks so that our target score is met. Okay, this is very, very important. For GA, PIB government schemes, finance current affairs, RBI circular and updates, all of these for last 6 to 8 months. Then reports, RBI notification and static GA also. All these topics are very, very important, and these are according to the order of priority. These are according to order of priority. Always remember that you have to do this for 6 to 8 months. I hope that it is clear. For all of these, you don't need to worry as you are already into the course. Here's a very good information. You will get magazines for each of these. In Daily Current Affairs magazine, all of these things would be covered. In PIB and government schemes, separate magazine comes. In that also PIB news and government schemes would be covered. So overall, everything is covered in the magazines as well as in your GA sessions. Now comes English. English, as I told you, here you have, it is more about habit. So here you have to build a reading habit, and not only that, you have to concentrate more on grammar as well as other mistakes which you can do in English. Always remember 30 questions are there. Here this is a high scoring session, that's why you should concentrate more on 25 and more than 25 marks. You should be concentrating topics like grammar, practicing the errors, finding out the errors in the statements, removing those errors. This type of statements definitely will come. Not only that, from today you can start reading daily newspaper. Okay, you can start reading daily newspaper, which can build your overall comprehension skills. And then is reading newspaper and clubbing it with vocabulary. Once you do this, your overall English preparation would be very smooth. English strategy, when we are talking about, again 25 minutes timing is there. Simple and single statement based questions like vocabulary, grammar, other single liner statements such as maybe replacing the words, fill in the blanks, such type of statements are there. These are very low hanging fruits. You should quickly solve them. The complicated questions in English are of course reading comprehension, clothes test and rearrangement of statements. Here even the time matters. That's why you should have a fast reading skills as well as good comprehension skills. More grammatical and more comprehension skills you have, you will score high in English. Then comes Quant. Many of the students are scared for Quant, okay? But you don't need to do that. Always remember, Quant is also one of the section like rest of the sections in phase 1. You don't need to worry about it. If you practice way along every day, at least for 1 hour, it is very easy to clear Quant. Okay, so let us try to see what should be our Quant strategy. Similar to reasoning, you have to keep a timing for each and every question. You have to understand that the race of solving the questions is not just with the other competitors, but also depending on yourself. For example, if it requires more time for you to solve data interpretation related questions, you should always try to practice in such a way that you can quickly try and improve your speed while solving these DI questions. Find what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths, and then try to definitely get through these important topics which always repeat in exam. Okay, whatever topics I have written for all the sections, these are the topics which highly repeat in exam and always have multiple questions on these topics. Now for quant, again here you get almost again 25 minutes. The cutoff here is less, only 4.5 marks, as you know, for previous year. So therefore our target score, similar to reasoning, it's 10 to 15 questions only, because here total 30 questions are there, cutoff is 4.5. Therefore our target should be 10 to 15 questions only, so that very easily you get 10 to 8 marks. Okay. Now when you are looking at quant, first always you should again go for single and simple statement based question. What are these topics about? Simplification, number series, quadratic equation, percentage, ratio, and arithmetic related questions which are very easy. Try to always stick to the arithmetic easy level questions. Maybe it may be profit and loss, it may be simple interest, it may be time and work, it may be time, speed, distance. Try to solve them which are easy in nature. Figuring out which questions are easy, which are solvable, and which will not be easily solved and which will take more time to solve, you should be very good at this. The real skill in quant and reasoning is not about solving questions, but finding out those questions which could be solved very easily and quickly. All students who are very good at this skill, for them it is very easy to clear RBI Grade B phase 1. Now when we talk about the first single statement based question, these you have to solve initially in your first 12 minutes. In later part you can move to multiple statement based question and huge paragraph based question. Data interpretation is one of it, and complex arithmetic based questions are also one of these. Always remember, these questions will have multiple variables, multiple statements. For each paragraph there would be 2 to 3 questions which are connected to the same paragraph. So therefore always solve these easy questions first and then move to the complex questions like DI and arithmetic. What is PIB? It is Press Information Bureau. For PIB government scheme, you don't need to worry. As you are on our YouTube channel, daily PIB news is covered by Lakshmi ma'am, weekly government scheme session is covered by Lakshmi ma'am, as well as daily current affairs is covered by Pooja ma'am. So you don't need to worry about, we cover everything. And not only that, finance current affairs as Finance Decoded is also covered, in which we only cover finance current affairs news. Okay, so everything you get on this particular YouTube channel. So here you can subscribe as well as press the bell notification, so that definitely when our important daily sessions are coming, you get an notification about it. So now for QRE and GA, what are the mistakes which most of the students who are here can commit? First is GA. When you are looking at general awareness, always remember, do not follow multiple resources. Follow only one magazine. Stick to only one content. Coverage is very, very important in GA. Last 6 to 8 months, whatever general awareness, current affairs, government schemes, economic and finance current affairs, very important. But more than coverage, it is also important that whatever you are covering, you cover it from the minimum resource and you revise it more. So more than coverage, revision matters a lot. Second thing is quant. Lack of practice can always make students suffer, that they, in spite of however smart they are and however good they are at quant, always they will suffer either for time management or because of any other reason. Trying to solve all the questions, that should not be the approach. That is again one of the mistakes. And second thing is that mistakes in low hanging fruits, that is very simple questions whatever are there in quant, you should not make mistakes in those questions. If those questions are very easy, you should solve them very, very quickly without any mistakes. Second thing is reasoning. Always stay away from ego solving. What is ego solving? Always remember, suppose I gave you a question. Rather than just sticking to that question and trying to solve it hard, if you feel that this question is difficult, I tried 1 to 2 minutes over this question and I am unable to solve it, leave that question. You should not take any question seriously and should not take it to your ego. Our target is to clear the cutoff, not to be best in quant. Try to understand that. Your main target should be to clear phase 1, phase 2 and then interview. Not getting PhD in quant or getting good marks in quant. Okay? Next thing in English, most important thing should be reading and comprehension skills, as well as speed of your reading. Okay, so once you get this, once you understand whatever mistakes are there, now I hope that you will actually try to minimize these mistakes in your phase 1 exam. This is the timetable which, if you want to prepare for phase 1 exam on week to week basis, this is the timetable which has been given for quant, reasoning together as well as English. So QRE timetable has been given to you. Don't worry about it. You can look at it. Week wise timetable has been given. Here you can split this topic into part 1, part 2, part 3, and you can follow this weekly timetable for next 6 to 8 months. Okay, daily you can do practice of 1 hour, in which you can practice a question on DI, a question on puzzle, a question on sitting arrangement, on those topics on which 100% a question will come in the exam. This is what previous year papers tell us. Now comes for phase 2. When phase 2 stage is considered, always remember there are 3 pillars of RBI Grade B exam: economic and social issues, English descriptive answer writing, and finance and management. Overall phase 2 exam is not an objective analysis like phase 1. Phase 1 exam was about objective. You just will be given options and you have to choose answers from those options. It is an objective assessment. Phase 2 is objective plus subjective assessment. It means that your objective MCQs are also there, and descriptive typing also you have to do for writing descriptive answers. Sir, how to increase typing speed? Don't worry. Initially, when you are trying to type the answers, your speed would be slow. But slowly and slowly, if you are doing the practice on daily basis, if you give at least 10 marks, definitely for descriptive answer writing, your speed will automatically increase. Also, you can try to do daily practice of typing on notepad in your laptop. It will help you to increase your typing speed. Other thing which you can do is that on a real-time basis, where there is noise, you can take an old keyboard to practice so that your typing speed increases, and as you will have an old keyboard, it would be exactly an exam-like scenario. Now let us look at phase 2. Here look at it. ESI is your paper 1, English descriptive is your paper 2, and finance and management is your paper 3. ESI 50% objective is there and 50% descriptive is there. Paper 1 ESI is totally for 100 marks, English descriptive is for 100 marks, and finance and management is for 100 marks. Total phase 2 is for 300 marks plus 75 marks are for interview. So your total selection to be an RBI Grade B officer will be out of 300 plus 75 of interview, 375 marks. Is it clear? Now when you look at ESI, 50% objective, 50% descriptive. Here you get 30 minutes for objective and 90 minutes for descriptive. Here 30 MCQs are given to you, 20 questions are for 2 marks and 10 questions are for 1 mark. So 22 marker question means how much questions? How much marks? 40 marks. And 10 1 marker questions means 10 marks, total 50. In ESI descriptive, 6 descriptive type questions are there. 3 descriptive type questions are for 15 marks and 3 descriptive type questions are for 10 marks. You have to attempt or solve any 4, that is, out of 3 15 marker question you have to solve any 2, out of 3 10 marker question you have to solve any 2. 15 15 in first part, 30 in 15 marker question, and in 10 marker question 10 10 only 2 you have to attempt, so total again 50. So in total you get 100 marks. I hope you understand this. What is the connection with noise? Is my noise, is the sound clear? Please tell me, Utkarsh. Yeah. Next is English descriptive. In English descriptive you get 90 minutes. You get 3 questions. Essay is for 30 marks, Précis is for 30 marks, and reading comprehension is for 40 marks. Here every descriptive question whatever we are talking about, here typing exam is there. Okay. So here you will not get to write with your pen but rather to type. In finance and management, again 50% objective and 50% descriptive. 30 minutes for MCQs and 90 minutes for descriptive. Again here 30 MCQs are there. 10 finance MCQs are for 2 marks and 5 questions are for 1 mark for finance. For management, again 10 questions are for 2 marks and 5 questions are for 1 mark. In total, 50 marks come from objective. Similarly, descriptive, 6 questions are there. 3 questions for 15 marks you have to solve in 2 and 3 questions for 10 marks you have to solve in 2, which total again gives you 50 marks. This is the overall exam pattern and these are the overall cutoffs for phase 1, phase 2 as well as overall cutoff. We all know that total phase 2 300 marks are there, paper 1 100, paper 2 100 and paper 3 100. Here 169 marks are there in 169 is the cutoff for the 2023 year, that is last year. And if you add 75 marks out of interview, last year the overall cutoff was 229. So when you look at it, phase 2 and overall cutoff, when you look at it, now you saw the cutoff of phase 1, you saw the cutoff of phase 2, you saw the cutoff of overall also. Now we can think about what our target marks are, which we always will keep in our mind when we are preparing for exam. Sir, how much gap is there between phase 2 and interview? In overall phase 1 and phase 2, 40 to 45 days gap is there. In phase 2 and interview, you can consider almost 40 to 60 days gap is there. Okay. So now we will be talking about the approach for phase 2. Always remember, when approach for phase 2 is considered, majorly here you should be concentrating on scoring maximum in English descriptive as well as descriptive part of finance, management as well as ESI. In MCQs, here it will again matter that how much revision have you done and how much your accuracy is. But in descriptive answer writing, everything depends on your answer writing skills. Here more than covering of syllabus, your practice for answer writing and practice for MCQ solving matters a lot. Now let us look at what our target scores are. Last year in 2023, whatever students got selected, these are their average marks in each of the section of phase 2 exam. Okay. So for ESI, objective as well as descriptive, our target score should be 60 to 70 marks or more than 60 to 70 marks. Last year ESI paper came difficult. That's why the target is only 60 marks. Finance and management, our target should be 70 plus marks. Finance comes dynamic as well as theoretical in nature. But management is completely theoretical in nature, which gives edge to students. If you study management well, you will score high in finance and management. Then comes English descriptive, in which again 70 plus should be your target. Sir, do all the phase 2 exams are conducted on the same day? Yes. Then total phase 2, when we are talking about, here 178 as it was the cutoff, 169 was the cutoff and 178 is an average mark which all the toppers have got. Your target should be 180 plus marks in phase 2 exam. Out of 300 how much marks? 180 तो लाने ही है, 180 तो लाने ही लाने हैं, 180 के ऊपर आता है well and good. And last is in interview on an average, many of the students on an average out of 75 they get 50 marks. So therefore here your target should be getting 45 to more than 50 marks. 45-50 marks में मिल गया, बहुत हो गया. In this way, if you do this, you will get more than 240 marks and automatically previous year cutoff was 229, that is 230, and you will become an RBI Grade B officer. I hope that you remember these target scores, very very important. It will help you to understand which section, which subject, which topic I have to do in what, at what level, and how much marks I should get in my mock test which are given in your scores. This will help you and make you understand how much preparation you have done, how much shallow water or how much deep water you are in. Now comes the overall trend analysis for ESI. Always remember, in objective parts, government schemes, reports and indices, international organizations, RBI circulars, budget survey reports and ESI static. for last 3 years, 2021, 2022 and 2023, all of these will show you only one trend analysis, that these topics are repeating. Government scheme is very important. RBI circulars are very important. Reports, indices are very important. International organizations are very important. Budget, economic survey, very important. Do revise them very, very well before the exam. Also, you have to make notes also out of this. But here in the course, you will be given documents as well as will cover them separately in the sessions. You don't need to worry about it. Next, in ESI descriptive part, these are the topics like WTO, measurement of growth, international and economic institutions. For example, last 2 years WTO question is asked. Monetary policy, sustainable development and environmental issues, fiscal policy, inflation, balance of payment. These are all your important topics from which descriptive questions are asked. Now, what should be strategy for your overall ESI? Remember this, that 2 marker questions would be very difficult, maybe complex and multiple statement based. How to solve them? Very easy. First, you should go for 1 marker question, solve easy questions first, then go for difficult questions. PIB, government schemes, reports, etc., RBI circulars. Here, rather than concrete information, you should have knowledge, and whatever you have read, you should be able to recall it very, very quickly. I know to remember all the facts, it's very, very difficult. You will not be able to remember all the facts. But rather than facts, here most important whatever points are there, statements are there of government schemes, PIB, reports, that you should definitely know about. Every fact you will not be remember, but most of the facts you can definitely remember. Next is descriptive part. Always remember, for 15 marker questions total, your time is 25 minutes for each 15 marker question. And for 10 marker question, it is 20 minutes. Now, you have to write descriptive answer in these timings only, because you are having already 6 questions and you have to write any 4 questions out of those 6 questions. You have to attempt any 4 out of 6. For brainstorming, what is brainstorming? Simple. Brainstorming is nothing but to understand a question, what answer I am going to write, how I am going to structure, what are the points I am going to include. Brainstorming you can give 3 to 5 minutes. Structuring you can give 2 minutes. And you can write for the rest of the 20 to 15 minutes of this particular time. Always remember, in answer writing, your confidence and clarity matters more than your content. Content is just a prerequisite thing, but structuring the answer, value addition through examples, case studies, that is very, very important to improve your answer. Trend analysis of finance and management. Management static part only will come. There is no current affairs or dynamic topics for management. Finance current affairs is very important, which includes all the important financial news from newspaper like Mint, Business Standard. Finance static as well as RBI circulars are very, very important. RBI circulars and notification, you can find them on RBI website. You can do those or cover those on weekly basis, but you don't need to worry about it because we cover it on our YouTube also and in our paid sessions also. Next, for all the 3 years, this is only important: management static, finance current affairs and RBI circulars. Finance descriptive, when we are talking about, these are the topics you should be concentrating upon. Finance topic, when we are talking about fiscal policy, financial institutions, derivatives and bonds, functions of RBI, primary and secondary markets, risk management, inflation, cash flow and ratios. These are certain topics from which you can expect the descriptive questions to come in the exam. Not only finance static topics, based on finance current affairs also, various descriptive questions come. Previous years, questions like RBI retail direct scheme, a question on CBDC, that is central bank digital currency, that is e-rupee, that was also asked in previous year 2023. So understand that for finance, as much as static is important, more than that current affairs is important. The strategy for finance is very simple. Finance current affairs, RBI circular, you should be very thorough with. You should not miss even one finance current affairs, whatever is going on the week-to-week basis. And then comes the descriptive answer writing part, which remains the same. In this way, The overall strategy when we are talking about for finance ends. For management, only static part is there. Therefore, ethics, leadership, general management, personality and perception, communication, motivation, conflict, these are the important topics which you should be concentrating more. Here also, static topics only are asked in management. You just have to mug up the things and clearly cover your theoretical lessons which happen in the management classes. Try to collect various examples from the real time or real whatever management examples are there which happen in the world, in the country. Try to collect them and associate them with the respective topics. It would be useful in your answer writing for exam. Mistakes which most of the students do are not practicing the answer writing, lack of conceptual clarity, time management, not figuring out which are the important topic based on your trend analysis which just now I showed you, grammatical error, running after too many sources, and not only that, there are also certain blunders which most of the students do. Blunders such as neglecting completely English descriptive answer writing which has total 100 marks, and the topics are those topics which you did in your 10th or 12th standard like essay, précis, reading comprehension. Not understanding the trend of exam, that means running after those topics which will not fetch you more marks. Starting late for phase 2 preparation, first I will prepare for phase 1 and then I will prepare for phase 2, a wrong attitude to start with as well as wrong strategy. Prepare for phase 1 and phase 2 togetherly. Allocate some of your major proportion for phase 2 preparation, and you can allocate 1 to 2 hours only for phase 1 in the sections in which you are weak. For example, in phase 1 if I am weak in Quant, then I will first only start my phase 2 preparation along with Quant. I will start my phase 2 preparation along with reasoning because I am weak in reasoning. In this way you can do it. Daily GA whatever is there, that is general awareness and current affairs, finance current affairs, PIB news analysis and government schemes. These are the 4 important dynamic pillars of RBI Grade B. This you have to do it on daily basis. Day to day you have to do. Unequal time allocation is also one of the problematic things. Always remember, finance and management is for 100 marks, ESI is for 100 and English descriptive is for 100. So each of this section has to be given equal timings. Time management in exam is very, very important, and targeted based preparation. If finance and management your target score is 70 plus, it means that in objective you have to bring more than 30 marks, in descriptive you have to bring more than 35 marks. That is why I told you what target score is. So now once we discussed about all of these things, now let me take you to the overall schedule of our upcoming batch. Okay, so now I will bring before you the schedule of our upcoming courses, upcoming course to which you have joined. So here as you could see, this is our ESI classes. So your overall ESI classes are there. You all would be knowing that today is 10th of June. From 11th, 5 p.m. every day Lakshmi ma'am's class is there. So tomorrow your first class is Introduction to Economics, Basics of Economics. So we'll start with Basics of Economics. It is your first class which will happen on 5 p.m. All Lakshmi ma'am classes are on 5 p.m. So for all the students who are joining here, your all ESI classes at which timing? 5 p.m. Here you could see that we have given enough timing to you so that you can revise whatever happens in your class lectures. After each class lecture, you will also get respective class PDFs or class notes also through which you can revise. Okay. So overall, when you look at ESI, total 40 to 45 lectures are there for your complete syllabus coverage. Let me take you towards all the topics of ESI. Basics of Economics, Economic Theory, National Income, Measurement of Growth, in which Economic Growth versus Development, Economic Features of India, Inequality and Measurement, then Poverty Alleviation, in which poverty line estimation, causes, etc. is covered, History of Indian Economy, in which economic reforms, 5-year plans are covered dedicatedly, economic reforms and planning, that is LPG reforms are covered properly, globalization is covered very properly, descriptive globalization you can see in last 5 years, 2 to 3 questions. Monetary policy is covered in a special lecture. Monetary policy, monetary aggregates are covered. Fiscal policy, public finance, FRBM Act, everything is covered. Balance of payment is covered. Agriculture sector, service sector, industrial and manufacturing sector, everything is covered in 1 or 2 lectures. Industrial policing, okay, policies till 1991, policies after 91 are covered separately. Labor policy, service sector, foreign trade policy, almost 2 to 3 lectures on that. Financial institutions in India like banking sector reforms also are covered. International economic institutions which include World Bank, WTO, various other institutions like UNCTAD. Social issues in which demographic trends, migration becomes important, urbanization, social justice, in which again we cover all the government schemes wherever required, environmental issues, sustainable development and environmental organization. ESI is done here. Now let's move to finance. This time you all are very lucky because here finance, I as well as Mahavish ma'am will teach you. So we will start with functions of Reserve Bank of India completely. We are starting tomorrow again at 8 p.m. We have a class. All our classes here, when you see, my classes for finance would be at 8 p.m. and Mahavish ma'am's classes would be in morning 8 a.m. Okay, so finance classes you have to watch them very, very specifically. My classes evening 8 p.m. and Mahavish ma'am's classes morning 8 a.m. Is it okay? Sir, how much gap is there between ESI paper and FM paper? Almost 1 to 2 hours gap is there. You don't need to worry about that. So, finance, functions of Reserve Bank of India, then structure and functions of financial institutions. All the financial institutions, it includes SIDBI, it includes Nabard, every financial institution. Then Indian banking system, financial institutions like SIDBI, Exim, Nabard, NHB, NAPFID, primary market and secondary markets, Forex, revision of primary and secondary markets through MCQs. What we try to do is that we cover the syllabus, and when we cover the syllabus, we also try to make practice of certain questions. Inflation, union budget, non-banking financial institutions and systems, financial inclusion, development of digital payment system, corporate governance, alternate source of finance, global financial system, then basics of derivatives, financial risk management, and then certain parts of accounting syllabus, which includes financial statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet, profit and loss, ratio analysis, etc. All these would be covered in your finance classes. And then comes last, that is management. In management, from introduction to management, evolution of management, systematic approach to management, organizational behavior, personality, perception, motivation, then theories of management, leadership, emotional intelligence, corporate governance, ethical principles in business. Your management classes are at 6 p.m. Okay, so this is the overall timetable. Are you clear? Next, we also have kept special sessions, as for last 6 to 8 months, many students are worried that, sir, we want targeted videos for current affairs. For all of them, I hope that here we are from 12th June, we will be starting GA classes also, which would be taken by Pooja ma'am. So January phase 1 current affairs will happen as your first class. Then January government schemes, January reports, indices and miscellaneous, February phase 1 current affairs, February government schemes, February reports and indices. So from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, then again January, February static current affairs. We will try to cover all the last 6 to 8 months general awareness in this particular lectures. So in this way, your ESI finance management from phase 2 point of view, your GA from phase 1 as well as phase 2 point of view is automatically covered. Not only that, for QRE, that is Quant, Reasoning, English also, the timetable schedule has been given to you, and the live classes are also going on, and the recorded classes are also given to you in your courses. This was all about the orientation class. If any more doubts are there, you can definitely ask me. I hope that you got this particular timetable, that how we are going to proceed in this particular course as you have joined in this particular course. Okay, so with this we'll end this session. I hope that this session was very fruitful. You understood some of the strategies and important facets of phase 1, phase 2 exam. And not only that, you also got to know that how we are going to start our batch 3 for the RBI Grade B course. Okay, so now once you get this timetable, just keep your eyes on the classes, attend the classes. After attending the classes, get the notes, revise the notes, and try to give topic wise test and see that are you able to solve topic wise test or not. Sir, what about English? For English, don't worry, you will be given access to descriptive English answer writing course. So there in descriptive answer writing course, we teach you answer writing from the scratch. We teach you how to write an answer. We teach you what are the secrets of answer writing, what is the art of answer writing, how to improve scores, how to write a good essay, what are the different ways of writing précis, and even improving your speed in the reading comprehension. You don't need to worry about it. Yes, this course will have everything. Sir, 2025 students, they should watch and focus on static portion only? No. When you are covering the static syllabus, you should daily read newspapers. So you are already given here this particular YouTube platform. So connect with Oliveboard Regulatory Body's YouTube platform. Daily watch PIB sessions of Lakshmi ma'am. Weekly watch 2 sessions of Finance Decoded of Mervish ma'am. Also go through all the daily current affairs of Pooja ma'am. Here your GA would be covered. Not only that, have an habit of reading at least 1 newspaper on daily basis, either Mint, either Business Standard, so that your comprehension skills and awareness also increase. You have to cover the static syllabus, at the same time dynamic, that is current affairs also you have to read. With this we'll end this session. Thank you very much and see you next time.